Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo Village community along the Japanese Highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome to the program Inside the Print Media. My name is K. Lyndon Tobar. It's such a privilege to be seated in the driving seat at this time. We want to apologize for bringing this program to you very late, because we were caught in the web of some other important obligations. But howbeit, we still have to be committed in bringing this program live to you. So quickly, let us rumble into the issues that mattered. We have for today's presentation, we have two papers, Front Page Africa and that of the Daily Observer's newspaper. We will rumble over the headlines. With the Front Page Africa newspaper, President Weah refers to Unity Party as resting team as he quotes Nibadian's votes. President Weah refers to Unity Party as resting team as he quotes Nibadian votes. As he make requests for Nibadian's vote, that was the writer is actually trying to say. Let's go to another headline on the same Front Page Africa newspaper. Amid rising tensions and election manipulations concern, who could face U.S. visa restriction? Amid rising tensions and election manipulation concern, who could face U.S. visa restriction? Let's go quickly to the Daily Observer newspaper and let's see what we have to the Daily Observer newspaper. The Daily Observer newspaper. Supreme Court demands a copy of final voter roll. Supreme Court demands a copy of the final voter roll. Sorry. Let's go over to the last headlines and then the Daily Observer newspaper. Press group views U.S. visa restriction as welcome development. Press group views U.S. restrictions as welcome development. For those of you who are watching this live program, please share our live video and don't forget to insert your comment into the comment section so that you can be recognized as well. So it is important to always be here on the platform to inform the people. The reason why we are not going to read Many of the stories that we normally read is because we have some important things to discuss about, and we have the biggest event in District 13. The euphoria is so hard. The euphoria of that particular event is so hard. Our students who have been participating in this program are now gearing towards the area where the occasion is scheduled to be held. So the entire residents and the general public is invited. The program is actually meant to be held, but I will dive into the program and we will entertain a very quick break. When we resume, then we will begin reading the newspaper. So let's just take a quick break.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Lyndon Topa. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Break, we will begin reading the headlines and subsequently the details of the story. President Weah refers to Unity Party as resting team as he quotes Nibalian votes. President George Weah has described the opposition Unity Party as a resting team, not a rescue team. He said that those who are calling themselves a rescue team have been able to rescue themselves before attempting to rescue the country. They are fooling you. Some of them have been in government for the past 50 years and have not been able to rescue the country. They are fooling you. I am the best choice for the presidential elections coming on October 10, he said. The Liberian leader then referred to Nibadians. The Liberian leaders then referred to Nibadians as people who have been and continue to be supportive to his government. He urged them to support his re-election so that he can continue with more development activities across the country. He boasted of his government being the only one to have paved more roads in the country since its independence. As such, his re-elections will enable him to continue with road pavement, providing free educations for Liberians' future leaders, and the constructions of more health facilities in the country. The Liberian leader expressed disappointment and frustrations over the by-road network in Lofad, the home of opposition Unity Party political leader Joseph Newman Bouaka. My mother is from Nima County, so Nimbadians are my uncles. They will continue to support me to achieve my second term bill so that most roads can be paved, educations and healthcare sectors can be improved, he added. He urged Nimbadians to continue. Yes, he urged Nimbadians to continue to have confidence in him as he is the best person to deliver the country as he has been suffering in the past government. President Weah assured Nevadians that his second term bid will help improve the lives of Liberians and carry out more development activities across the country. Speaking further, the Liberian leader accused Senator Prince Johnson for only seeking benefits for himself and his family rather than acting in the interest of the Nimbadians. He stated that this will not happen in his government. He disclosed that Senator Prince Johnson more, more names of his office, but he rejected them because they were family members of Senator Prince Johnson's. The man is not good, and he is not helping Nibadians. Under himself and his family, President Weah added. Our correspondent reported that Liberian leader brought a helicopter to gain more supporters as residents of Ganta gathered in large number to see the helicopter enter the city since the end of the United Nations missions in Liberia. According to our nearby correspondent, the Liberian leader is due to spend 4 days in the county to tour the 19 administrative districts. With this being said, we move over to another headline on the front page Africa newspaper. Amidst rising tensions and elections manipulations concern, who could face U.S. restrictions? Amid rising tensions and election manipulations concern, who could face U.S. visa restrictions? Liberia crucial October elections are fast approaching, accompanied by dynamic developments in the lead up to the polls. One such development is the recent announcement by United Nations State Secretary of State Antony Blinken regarding a visa restriction policy aimed at individuals involved in undermining democracies in Liberia, both leading up to the following in the October election. In the statement released by the U.S. Department on Wednesday, Secretary Blinken invoked Section 212A 3C of the Immigrations and Nationality Act, announcing that the United States will impose visa restriction to those believed to be responsible for complicit undermining democracies in Liberia. This includes individuals engaged in manipulating or breaking the electoral process using violence to obstruct freedom of association and peaceful assembly, employ measures to hinder political parties, voters, civil society, or the media disseminating their views or participating in any activity designed to improperly influence elections outcome. Secretary Blinken clarified that certain family members of these individuals may also face restriction. Those who undermine democracies in Liberia, spanning the lead up during and after Liberia's 2023 elections may be deemed ineligible for U.S. visa under the policy. The U.S. restriction policy announced today will be applied to specific individuals and is not directed at the Liberian people or the government of Liberia. The decision to impose visa restriction reflects the commitment of the United States support to Liberians' aspiration to have free, fair, and transparent elections that demonstrate the will of the people and strengthen democracies and rule of law, Secretary Blinken announced. Meanwhile, the U.S. Secretary of State was making his announcement. Deputy Assistant Secretary for West Africa at the Bureau of Africa, Michael Helt, was landing in Liberia to hold a discussion with stakeholders, including Liberian government's officials, the National Elections Commission, political parties, and civil society representatives. Addressing the Liberian media for his meetings, he expressed his appreciation for the open and focused discussion on ensuring the upcoming election success. He commended the candor displayed by government officials, civil society leaders, political parties, and the NEC, highlighting the strong bond between Liberia and the United States and the commitment to a free, fair, and peaceful election process. He also applauded President Weah for pledging his government commitment to ensuring a free, fair, transparent, peaceful, and inclusive and credible elections at the United Nations General Assembly. He said, the U.S. government fully supports this commitment and encourages Liberia to honor the 2023 Farmington River Declaration promoting nonviolent electoral process. Who are the targets? The U.S. visa restriction policy, as outlined by Secretary Blinken, has generated extensive public reactions. Blinken clarified that the policy focuses on specific individuals and does not target the Liberian people or the government of Liberia. Deputy Assistant Head further explained during a press conference at the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia, saying the 3C visa restriction policy covers anybody who undermines the democratic process of the elections, and this can be pretty much anybody who engages in activities that could undermine the process. Some examples could be somebody is trying to steal a ballot, or somebody who tries to access computer servers that contain data that was uploaded. If someone incite violence against journalists or against elections observer or poll workers, could be considered undermining the electoral process. The visa restriction announcement comes amid escalating tensions leading up to the elections, characterized by heightened concerns and vocal claims from various political figures, particularly officials and supporters of the opposition Unity Party. Notably, Senator Prince Ward Johnson, a former warlord and a prominent ally to Unity Party, candidate Joseph Boakai, made statement that sparked widespread condemnations, although he later clarified his intentions. Ambassador Boakai, the former vice president and UP standard bearer, warned it could be the end of Liberia if CDC steals the election. That is why you need to protect it. If they think they can steal these elections, you will not allow it because they do it. That is the end of this country, said the 78-year-old vice president on his campaign trail. They both said their statements were associated with violence and affirmed their commitment to peaceful process. However, the UP has taken the National Elections Commission to the Supreme Court over its failure to publish the final voter roll. President Weah reacted to allegations of potential vote breaking in forthcoming elections during a Thanksgiving service held for him upon his return from the United Nations General Assembly. Said he is willing to step aside should he lose the elections. However, he warned that the country could not return to days where rebel checkpoints were erected, while at the same time cautioning his political counterparts to desist from threatening war. Announcement garners reactions. The U.S. visa restrictions policy was announced by Secretary Blinken has sparked widespread reactions in public spaces. Isaac Jackson, a supporter of the CPP and former official of the UP-led government, said the visa restrictions announced by Secretary Blinken of State Anthony Blinken is in response to the threat emanating from UP standard bearer Joseph Boakai and Prince Johnson. I was bewildered to have heard Oman Boakai, the man who takes absolute delight in advocating himself the title of ambassador, issued threats recently to subvert Liberia's democracy when he asserted that Liberia will end if the elections were rigged against him. Jackson said, in response to U.S. visas restriction policy, the Press Union of Liberia expressed its support, urging Liberians to prioritize national interests over political affiliations. The Presidio warned both Liberian governments and oppositions political parties to refrain from making inflammatory statements that could jeopardize peace. It reminded journalists affiliated with politically owned media outlets that they are not exempt from the visa restriction policies, particularly those using their platforms to attack opposing candidates. While Liberia boasts a vibrant media landscape, most media institutions and journalists have openly aligned themselves with political parties, using their platform to advance partisans' agenda. Mr. Philibert Bryan, publisher of the Hot Pepper newspaper, raised controversy by suggesting that foreign intervention had influenced past presidential elections in favor of the Unity Party, sparking discussions on the role of foreign actors in Liberian politics. The government announcement. The Liberian government welcomed the U.S. visa restriction policy as reinforcements of President Weah's commitment to building a democratic society grounded in respect of the rule of law, free expressions, and fair elections. The government said it believed that the U.S. statement will help ease public anxiety surrounding the upcoming democratic exercise, particularly in light of recent synodary political rhetoric. With less than 2 weeks until Liberia's elections, experts anticipate that U.S. visa restrictions announcement may contribute to reducing heightened tensions in an inflammatory rhetoric that have characterized the lead up to the purge. With this being said, this is how we would love to zero on the front page Africa newspaper and entertain a quick break. When we return, we bring you the Daily Observer headlines and subsequently the news in detail. Stay tuned.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world life.
Hello, K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Courage. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Observer newspaper. Supreme Court demands a copy of final voter roll. As Justice As Associate Justice Wolokoli, it reserves ruling in a quest for a writ of Hamedamus by the Unity Party and the Liberian People Party. The Justice in Chamber of the Supreme Court has mandated the National Elections Commission to share copies of the final voter registration rule with the court following a hearing into a separate writ of mandamus filed by two opposition political parties. The mandate by Associate Justice James Esther Wolokoli comes after the Unity Party and the Liberian People's Party separately petitioned the court to compel the electoral body to, to public release the voter roll whose accuracy is crucial to ensure the credibility of the October poll. The roll which cannot be altered 30 days to an election except by a Supreme Court order contains the names and other important information of registered voters. The electoral body has, however, not yet released the voter roll despite having barely 2 weeks remaining to the conduct of the October 10 polls. It has insisted that it is working diligently towards making the list available in a secure format and available to all stakeholders as soon as possible. The delay has, however, been a focal point of contention to the lead up to the elections, posing the Unity Party and the Liberian People's Party to have consolidated their lawsuit to seek a court order for the timely release of the voter roll, which they argue is a key requirement that could ensure the credibility of October 10 elections. The writ of mandamus is a court order compelling a government official or agency to perform a mandatory duty or function required by law. In this case, the petitioners are arguing that the electoral body failures to timely make available the voter roll warrants judicial intervention. During the closed-door hearings started yesterday, which lasted for several hours, the petitions argued they needed access to the vote roll to verify its accuracy independently. According to the joint petition filed by the opposition parties, the electoral body is legally obligated per the elections law and an opinion of the Supreme Court to publish and provide copies of the voter roll. These aggregated locations in various electoral districts across the country. They cited the 2023 voter registration regulation, which define the final registration rule as a list of registered voters eligible to vote produced following the exhibition and resolutions of voter appeal claims, challenges, and necessary changes to the provisional registration rule. The chairperson of the electoral body, petitioner noted had not been a solemn commitment to make available the final voter roll to the Supreme Court during a commitment to make available to the final copies of the voter roll on September 18 during an appearance before the Senate while on an oath. However, the Unity Party and the Liberian People's Party argue that the electoral body had failed to fulfill its statutory responsibilities despite being bound by the oath to do so. The parties noted that the unnecessary delay amounts to an irregularity that could undermine the credibility of the vote cast on election day. The electoral body, and on the other hand, maintain that they have not broken any law as claimed by the opposition parties. They noted that the voter roll is being prepared and could be publicly released in time before the October 10 poll as it has been done during past elections. However, the justice in chamber has listened carefully to both sides' arguments, requesting the electoral body to furnish the court with copies of the voter roll while reserving a ruling on the matter. The current voter roll saga comes after Afrobarometer reported in April of this year that popular trust in the electoral body remains weak as Liberia prepares for the general elections. Afrobarometer, a pan-African non-partisan survey research network, shows that only 1/3 of Liberians trust the commission to conduct a free, fair, and credible election, a decline of 10 percentage points since 2018, even though most Liberians express confidence in the secrecy of their ballot. We move over to another newspaper, another story on the same newspaper, that is the Daily Observer newspaper. Liberia press group views U.S. restrictions as welcome development. The Press Union of Liberia expresses its support to the United States government new visa restriction targeting individuals who pose a threat to Liberia's burgeoning democracy, according to a press release from the PUL. These restrictions specifically focus on prominent figures within the country political spheres and are intended to dissuade those with malicious intentions from pursuing their harmful agendas. In the press statement issued on September 28, the PUL calls upon all Liberians to prioritize the national interests above political interests or individual affiliations. The union underscores the unacceptable nature of averting to past violence, which has contributed to Liberia's current underdevelopment. The PEL issued a caution to both the Liberian government and the opposition political parties, urging them to refrain from making inflammatory statements that could jeopardize the country's peace. It emphasizes that intentionally provocative rhetoric may result in politicians and their families being included in the list of individuals prohibited from traveling to the United States of America. The PEL firmly believes that safeguarding the integrity of the electoral process is a shared responsibility involving various stakeholders, including political parties, civil society organizations, the media, and international partners. It is imperative on these transparency during the upcoming elections, October 10 elections, while avoiding contentious allegations outside of the court. Furthermore, the Press Union of Liberia has emphasized that the American government cannot call for Liberian politicians to withdraw from ongoing political discussion regarding the right to lead the country. Instead, it encourages them to engage constructively on governance issues that will benefit the Liberian people. Moreover, the UN is warning journalists affiliated with politically owned media outlets, reminding them that they are not exempt from the U.S. visa restriction policy. This is particularly relevant because some broadcasters and newspapers have taken clear sides in the elections and have used their platform to launch vicious attack against opposing candidates. On September 27, the United States announced a new visa restriction policy aimed at individuals undermining democracy in Liberia. This policy takes effect ahead of the upcoming general and presidential election. Meanwhile, the PEL, in observance of the International Day for Universal Access to Information, has called upon political parties and actors to cease obstructing the crucial work of journalists in fulfilling their professional duties and in the lead up to the general and presidential election. The UN highlights that during the month of September alone, the Press Union of Liberia media outlet DEX has documented 8 threats, 2 attacks, and numerous unethical transgressions. These transgressions include individuals making broad claims and wearing their synagogues of political parties, among other things. Wearing such political motivated attire limits the ability to access information from diverse range of political perspective. Universal access to information is an essential component of the right to freedom expression, as enshrined in Article 19 of the Universal Declarations of Human Rights. This right encompasses the entitlement to actively seek, achieve, and distribute information through any media platform transcending all borders. Additionally, the UN urges the Liberian government to allocate funds to the Independent Information Commission to enable it to facilitate access to information across the sectors in the country. The IIC information currently operates with a budget of over 400,000 primarily allocated to the salaries of its 20 employees. It has become a common practice for government agencies responsible to access to information to secure loans and support their operation, with staff having to dip into own pockets to cover expenses such as photocopying document, purchasing internet, scratch card, transportations, and fuel. The UN noted that since 2017, more than 22 African countries have enacted laws and access to information, but the lack of political will has posed significant challenges to their effective implementation of these laws. With this being said, this is how we would love to zero on all of our news reading, both local, and we are very sorry that we cannot be able to bring to you the international news as usual. So we want to entertain a quick break. When we resume, then we will begin discussing some of the upcoming event, which is very, very pivotal to the growth and developments of our district and Liberia as well. My name is K. Lyndon Tokwa. Thanks to all of you. I see Stephen Johnson watching live from Fresh TV office in Logan Town. Thanks to all of you who are watching this live program. My name is K. Lyndon Tokwa, and it's such a privilege to be seated in the driving seat of the program inside the print media on Focal Online TV. Let's take a short break. When we return, we begin the discussions right here on this platform.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Togba. My name is Greg Courage. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is every
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, K. Lyndon Togba. My name is Greg Courage. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m., to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
To watching this program where we bring you informations that keep you abreast with the major happenings in Liberia and that of the world at large. This is the program of Inside the Print Media where Greg Finan CPAL served as the lead presenter and I played the role as a co-presenter. But howbeit, Greg Finan happens to be one of the strategic members of an upcoming event which will be held in time soon. But she has asked me to use this medium and this platform to encourage the residents of District 13 and Liberians, lovers of education, to come and grace this occasion because this is District 13 Academic Award Excellent Award 2023. This is the 2023 Academic Excellence Award. This program has been in process, has been in motion for more than 3 months. And more importantly, Focal TV is one of the potential partners of this program. We started this program. There was a particular committee that was tasked with the responsibility to go and collect the data. And this is how they did the data collections. They went to the various institutions and they obtained the data they obtained a periodic data from each one of the schools, and the schools were able to, the schools were being very coordinative in the process, but at some stages in the process, some of the schools were not, providing the necessary information as well. But the committee who was earlier tasked with that responsibility was way more engaged in that particular process, reaching out to them. But howbeit, when we started the activity, the major activity, that is to say, where the students were invited at the premises of the Andy Brooklyn Jala Foundations in Topo Village to have the first acquaintance meeting, we had about close to 17 persons in attendance at that particular meeting. So, but as the process went on and on, there were other people who, for personal reason or some other reasons, became fall along the wayside because they didn't present us any justifiable reasons for why they abstained themselves from the process. So the process has been going on for more than two months, and today happens to be the program where those valedictorians who have been participating in the program will be certificated. As the nature of the program, we have been informed reliably by sources very close to the program, those of the people who have the necessary information as possible, that they will actually be awarding 3 students for their outstanding performances, ranging from the initial stage of the process up to the current stage where the final determination has been made. So this is it. This is the invitation. This is the invitation. This is the invitation. This is the invitation. This invitation has since been distributed to a lot of people. So as we speak now, the students are currently at the premises of the Andy Brooklyn Jala Foundation. parents from across the districts, lovers of educations are currently here. Other media outlets are also here to carry this program live. And after the conclusion of this program, you will see it in some of the newspapers, on some of the newspaper, on some of the news website, and you will also see it. And Focal TV is also going to be there to bring you up to speed with what will definitely be taking place from the start of the activity up to present. So if there is any other questions that you want to ask, if there is any other questions you want to ask in the comment sections, you can just insert your questions. You are permitted to ask a question. So the program will be held at the Bishop Little Memorial Institute located in Topo Village. Bishop Little Memorial Institute located in Topo Village. So the red carpet of today's event, starts by 12:30. The red carpet of today's event starts by 12:30, and right after the red carpet, we will transition into the other stage of the program. So my name is K. Lyndon Topa. Many thanks to all of you who have been watching along with us. And this is how we would love to call it a day. Since there is no concern or questions raised by any one of our viewers here. So this is how we would love to call it a day. The program Inside the Print Media return fresh next week, Monday, with another amazing, attractive, and mouth-watering presentation as usual. Many thanks to all of our viewers who have been very supportive, because it is because of you we are actually committed to this particular task. It is our obligation to keep you informed, and it is your obligation as well to keep watching. So it is a win-win situation. You promote us, we also promote you as well. So many thanks to all of you who have been there watching along with us. My name is K. Lyndon Topa. It was such a privilege to be seated in the driving seat to drive this program Inside the Print Media. This is how I would love to call it a day. Bye-bye for my end.